Hello Internet, and welcome to another tutorial on how to do things in my soul-like, melee-like project. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how we're going to add items to the game. So this is going to be the very first basic tutorial about on how to do things in the game. The first thing we're going to want to do is actually open the folder we want to put an item into. I have already imported, but I will show you exactly how I did it. So we're going to go maps. Not maps, my bad. Mesh. We're going to go to whatever folder you're going to want it in. And for me, I want it World Deco because this is just a standard random item that I'm going to be bringing in. And we're going to go ahead and click Open Folder Location. Show Folder in Explorer. We now have that open, and I have downloaded this item. It's just a gem from the net, and all you do is simply drag and drop it in here. It'll give you a bunch of options once inside here. What you do with it, go through those options. There's lots of tutorials on how to do that. Mostly just stick with the default options, and you have it. And then now, once it's inside the game, imported, you will have your object right here. One of the things you're going to want to do is most times it won't have correct collision, and so you're going to want to show collision, simple collision. So this one already has a simple collision. If it didn't have a simple collision, I'm going to stay with this one. If it didn't, there's a couple of options for you to do. You can go add a spheric simple collision, a capsule collision, or you can go over here and actually this one is, how do you do this? Auto convex collision, and I'll bring up this mesh thing here, and then you can select the things on how you want it to automatically generate a collision. If you want it to be straight to the object and not have to worry about it not having correct mesh. So if you're like adding a world, like a ramp or something to the thing, you want to have more of a stickler auto-generated collision. So once you have the item, then you're going to want to add your texture. I've already pre-prepared a texture. You can import the textures of your items in. There's tons of tutorials on how to do that, but we're going to go ahead and go with my texture. Dairy crystal. Here we are. So here we are. This is my crystal. This is the texture I have chosen for this because it's going to be one of my more exotic items in this setup. So this is my legendary crystal. I'm going to rename this into crystallized stone in the context bar here, because that's what I'm going to name the item I'm making. Stone. Here we are. Now we're going to actually go ahead and adding this to the system, the whole game. So the first thing we're going to do is, I'll just close this one. We're going to want to go into where you're going to want it to create it. You're going to want to find one that's either similar to it or something along the lines of what you want. I would not suggest going. There is another way you can easily go into here and you can find the base item. So it's master item right here, and you can right click and create a child of it. I would not suggest doing that because I have pretty much the templates for all the items already put out. You're probably going to want to try to find something that is more along the item you're adding to the game, such as a material or a weapon, or maybe spell item. So you want to find one that's going to be basically along the lines of what you're making. And in my case, this is just the next upgrade of the pulsating stone. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this one. Duplicate that. And we're going to call this crystallized stone instead of pulsating stone. Crystallized stone. Now that we have it, the crystallized stone, we are going to come in, they'll pop this up, we'll bring it up, we're going to come down our drop mesh, go to viewport, and we're going to change our drop mesh into the thing we just imported. So that's going to be our crystallized stone. Crystallized, I must have spelled it wrong. Crystallized stone, here we are. Oh, but we see right here that my crystallized stone is too small. It's not at all what we want. So it's not good. So we're not going to really be able to use that. So we're going to go ahead and come back into my item room. This is the map I currently have open. This is the map I use for making new items. Okay, and testing them, making sure they work well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to I closed it. Yep, I did. Here, we'll open that in this area again. We're going to want to go and check out the stone size because we want it to be relatively same size as the stone. What did I just do? That's not what I meant to do. I meant to put this into the room. Don't know how that happened. Here we go. Here we are. There we see that. Is that size? We're going to go as crystallized stone. As you see, that is way too small. And another thing we're going to do for now, we're just going to go ahead and reset this so you don't, it just has no texture, or just we're going to copy this texture over so it doesn't keep moving on us, and put it on this one. So it's not important right now. So is that the size of the stones? I think that's the size of the stones on most of my stone objects. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring this here. We're going to go ahead, scale it up to get it about the same, relatively the same size. So it'll be relatively the same size of the other items that are in the game. So we're going to come in here. We're also going to want to change the pivot on this once I'm done. Let's put it in its place. So this is basic modeling that you can do in this system. We come up here, we'll go modeling. I'm going to come down to X form. We're going to transform, edit the pivot. We're going to move the pivot more centered, because that's really annoying me that it was not doing that. Come on, hit accept. I think the system just froze. Give it a few seconds. It's because I'm recording at the same time. Come on. Accept. There it goes. Waiting for static mesh to respond. Come on. I am sorry about that. I don't know why it's taking so long. It must be because, like I said, I'm recording. There we go. Finally. That was really annoying. Okay. So change this around so it'll be kind of more in shape and position. There we are. Might want to scale it down just a little bit on the sides. I think that's plenty good. It's about relatively the same size. Then we'll come up here and we're going to go ahead and bake rotation and scale. This will change the size and the transformation of the stone, the actual mesh. So this will actually change that. Now the reason why that's actually taking so long, I just realized, is because I have it opened in this right here. And it's also transforming that, plus I'm recording. My computer's not that old. It should be like instantaneous, but yeah. Come on. There we are. Now what we'll see here, if we were to go back, oops, that's not one to do. Go down, thank you. If we were to go to this static mesh, we'll see now that the static mesh has been changed. And because I have changed its position, okay, let's make sure that my simple collision is more or less still right. Yep, it's just a little bigger. All right, the collision is still good. And in my pulsating stone, we'll see now here these are much bigger as well. So if I were to drag this into the world at this moment, we don't need this anymore. We need to go back to selection. We come in up to crystallization, Control B, come to this room, and we can drag and drop it out into the world to see. Whoops, it double clicked it. Didn't mean to do that. Come back to this room here. Here we are. There we are. So that is, no, that's a pulsating stone I just grabbed. That's a pulsating stone, right? Yes. No, that's a crystallized stone. How come it looks so close to the pulsating stone? Did I? Oh, okay, I know why. Because it's, no, that's right. Legendary. There we are. Because there we are. Textures change. There we are. Okay, so with that done now, we want to actually set its settings. So we're going to come back up to the very top of this. We're going to come over here. We're going to come down. We don't need actor tick. We don't need isolation. We need manual change variables. So in here, this is the actual item info. So item info, instead of pulsating stone, we're going to call it crystallized stone. Crystallized stone. A stone. I'm not quite sure exactly about what we're going to talk about it. So a stone so infused with magic, it has it's really stupid. It's fine. It's still stylized. I spelled that wrong. Stylized. There we are. Okay, it can be used in crafting. There we are. And we're going to need an icon for it. For an icon, that's pretty easy enough. We're going to come over to my blueprint. We're going to go into Utility, Actors, Utility, Icon Picture Taker. We're going to open up our Icon Taker, Picture Taker. We're going to go Viewport. It's not centered here. We'll go Static Mesh, hit F to center. And we can see here, this is the last thing I was making. It was just a regular gem. We're going to replace it with the crystallized stone. Oops. I spell that different every time, don't I? Okay. And here we are. This is now a perfect representation of it, except for its wrong texture. We just replaced that texture there. Now that we have that, we hit Control B to open up the place where it's at is again. We're going to wait until it gets to about the middle of the screen, and we're going to create a static texture from this. And we're going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to go UI. Come down here. Make this UI as well. User interface. We're going to change the min, the max alpha. There we now have our crystallized stone icon that we are going to use for this thing. We're going to copy the icon to the place where we're going to stick all of our other icons, which is inventory, icons. We're going to rename this icon crystallize crystal. I should have figured out how to spell crystallize before I started this. Crystallize stone. I need to actually figure out how to spell crystallized. Give me a sec. There's the little hint. If you ever can't figure out how to spell something, you can just go to the net and type it in. There it is. Crystallized. Do they mean crystallized? There we are. Crystallized. There we are. We go back over here. Make sure we spelled it right. Autosave just changed it out on me. The crystallized stone. There we are. We're going to take and drop this crystallized stone to right here. I just stuck it back. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I meant to stick it right here because it right back right here into icons. My bad. Okay, there we are. Now we have our icon for the crystallized stone. Let's go ahead and make sure we spelled crystallized stone actually right. I'm pretty sure we did last time. No, we did not. That we'll see. V crystallized. There we are. Now we're going to go ahead and get a crystallized icon stone. There, we've now changed the icon. Now there's some things we want to change. We want to change whether or not it's weight, whether or not it can be stacked. This is a material, so we want it to be able to be stacked. We want to change its category, which is a material. It's not a quest item. It's not a readable. It's a material from crafting. And then we also want to change its value. And we're going to change its value to 200 because it, well, no, we're going to change about to 250 because it is going to take 2 pulsating stones to create 1 crystallized stone. Okay. And then we don't need any of these other stats right here, right now, because these are for your weapon stats and skills, and we're not messing with the skills. But what we do need to do is we need to change its rarity. We need to change its rarity to legendary because it's going to be a legendary item. I know it's a bit much just to be able to do that, but it's fine. We also need to go up here rarity as well and make sure we find all the rarity locations, legendary. Okay, now after we have that item info filled out, that is done, we want to come down to here, our static mesh. We want to change our static mesh. This is for what static mesh does is for when it appears in the world when you're editing. So like when you drag the item in through a spawner, you want to drag items in through the spawner, not directly the item itself, because then the player will be able to grab it anytime they save and load. Okay. So you want to be able to see the item when you're dragging in through the spawner, and also when the item is being spawned for incineration or being able to be torn apart. So in this case, we're going to grab our mesh, static mesh location, come back up here, and custom drop. We just want to mess right here. The crystallized stone. That's our crystallized stone. Custom drop mess is for like arrows and stuff. We're not messing with that right now. Now, another thing we want to do is we do want to come back to item info. I forgot this. We want to go recipe. We want to find our recipe. We want to add one item for recipe because we're going to be able to tear this down into pulsating stones. This is for like when the item gets the not disintegrated. What do they call it? Disassembled. Yes, pulsating stones. Gem pulsate. No, wrong pulsating. It's a different one. Where's the pulsating stone? What did I call it? BP pulsating stone. Pulsating stone. There it is. There it is. And we're going to get back to. So we are now officially done with the stats of this thing, but there is a couple other things we have to do to finalize it. We're going to come back to the item room. Now you'll see when this item gets to a value of when you drag an item into the world. So if you drag in default, like just drag it from the thing into here, you've got to go into here and make sure it's set as dropped. If you're just dropping it into the world, if it's equipped, it will not show up. Inventory, it will not show up. It has to be set. This has to be set as drop, and here you can also set the amount. So if we were set this to 100, that's okay looking stack. It's fine because it's basically the same shape and size of a stone. But I'm going to go ahead and take you through how you do it with if it's not the same type of stone. We're going to come over here. We're going to change the drop item of this. This is a special blueprint that I made specifically to do this system. So you can change how everything stacks when you have more items on the ground. It makes it just nice. We're going to go ahead and grab our crystallized stone. There it is, crystallized stone. This is now the base of item. For looking wise, we're going to go ahead and just give it a stone texture. For now, it doesn't matter. It's just so it'll stack properly and better off to here. Yeah, it's fine. There we are. Does that work? It's not. Okay, there we are. It's just loading that texture. Now, when we start the level, what will happen is it'll simulate and it'll drop 100 of these items into the bin. Hit play. Come on. Okay. Okay, so this can happen sometimes. It's something I sort of mentioned. What in the world? Oh, okay, no, this is not. Oh, that's Greystone, the one I was messing over there. That's fine. I don't need to mess with that. That's not even part of my stuff system. This is just the map I used. Okay, so here we are. It's now stacking the items, dropping them, and it'll simulate the item stack. I didn't like the way that actually stacked. It shouldn't have dropped like that on top of each other like that. I might want to change the... Yeah, because it's not really stacking away. I'm going to want to change its collision mesh, because they're not really getting good collision here. So let's come over here. Let's actually just go ahead and generate a collision. Apply. That's a bit good. Yep, that's good. Save that. Then we'll come again and try this again. So it'll actually have a better stacking as it drops in there. And once it's fully stacked, it's dropped all 100 of the items. We're just waiting for it to fully drop all items. It's going to take a little bit to simulate all 100 stacked items. There we are. It's now fully simulated. We'll wait until everything settles down. We'll hit F8. Now we're going to select this blueprint. We're going to come to this array right here. We're going to copy this, right click on it and hit copy. And now we're done with the simulating. We will come back to our crystallized stone. Oops, up here at the top, crystallized stone. We're going to close down manually changed items. Don't need static mesh. What we're looking for, don't need to buff. What's going on here? Item info. I still have the item info? No. It's down here at the bottom. Just got, here it is, this one. And we're going to go ahead and paste. And that'll change how it stacks the items. So they all stack on top of each other now. and you hit save and compile, and that is actually everything. That is how that is fully stacked, and you have a fully usable item, except for one small problem. Yeah, the one small problem is that the crystallized base item, the drop stock mess, is actually a little bit too low on the stacking menu. So we're just going to pull this up just a tad bit. That's not going to hurt anything. Compile. We'll come back over here and look at our dropped item again. There we are. So that is a fully stacked items, crystallized stone, 100 of them. I can pick it up. It'll appear in my inventory. Right here they are. You can only stack 99 at a time, but there we are. A stone so suffused with magic, it has crystallized. It can be used in crafting. And that is how you add an item to the game. In the next tutorial, we'll talk about how to craft items, set up crafting. That is all. LordMaddog signing off, if I can find the signing off here. All right, talk to you later.